matter of time I spent on some locked up shit in the back of the paddy wagon.
Speaking of Meek Mill.
We can flag, but bump that shit.
Speaking of Meek Mill.
That's Super Bowl music.
Ain't that like his greatest shit ever?
It gotta be. Honestly, I think that's the only song I know.
I did know one song that I actually like more than that song, and it's called Amen. So that's my shit. Amen.
What is it called?
Amen.
I don't know.
It was on one of his big stage with Big Sean, I think.
That's a good song. But it's funny that song, I feel, and I know a lot of other people felt this happened. That song, along with the Eagles winning the chip, catapulted him. Like he caught a wave. You know, it's like you catch that wave and it brought him to a different level because a lot of different people heard his music and they were like, oh, so he caught that. He caught that.
I didn't realize
that was that one song.
He was like, I know he's really popular in Philly, but I didn't realize he was like big enough where he's ultra rich.
He was a superstar. He was Rick Ross' biggest artist.
I know that, but I didn't think he was like, you know, getting bags like that. I had no idea.
Is he Philadelphia's biggest rap artist?
No, that got to be Freeway, right?
No, popularity wise.
No,
Freeway is. You
think surpassed Freeway?
Absolutely. Is he bigger than Black Thought?
Yeah, of course, way bigger than Black Thought.
Probably Black Thought doesn't get the credit he deserves, but I had no idea that Meek was so. I didn't.
Yeah, he's not as good as Black Thought, but we're not talking about.
You're talking about popularity.
I think Bean the Seagull probably had more.
Oh, I forgot about Beans. How could I forget about Beans?
Than Meek Mill.
Well,
Meek is kind of like J-Lo.
Street cred is different. Street cred is different.
Talking about like popularity, right?
Yeah, popularity. Like, he's just popular. Yeah, street cred, that's a whole different thing.
I figure Meek Mill was popular in Philly.
He's popular.
He's popular in a lot of parts of Philly, as much as
because of street shit. But he's popular because he's a J-Lo. Like, I don't mean no disrespect. I know it's gonna sound disrespectful. He attaches himself, like he's the sidearm to a lot of famous people. So not only did that song boost him up, but then he got with Nicki Minaj. Then he became Nicki Minaj made him famous.
That's a bad analogy.
I think J-Lo made herself famous. But I'm
saying.
But I'm just saying, he's the side piece to it. He's the side arm, not side piece. No, I meant side arm to a lot of famous people. Anybody that can attach themselves to Nicki Minaj like that,
respectful that is.
Then he's attached to. I meant to call him a sidearm. My bad, Meek. If you don't send the goons, don't send the Philly goons. I'm an Eagles fan. Bird call. I'm just saying, like he attached himself to Nicki Minaj. Then he did with Drake. When he did Drake, he attached himself to Drake. Then he did Jay-Z, and that was his best move. Then he did Robert Kraft, et cetera, et cetera.
But to boil it down to the bottom, he's rich enough to buying a Bentley. I had no idea. Him and like a bunch of other people bought Robert Kraft, like him, Jay-Z, Michael Rubin. They bought Robert Kraft a Bentley.
Some good old house niggas right there, boy. I tell you.
Why?
You talking about some heavy hitters,
right?
In the music industry. So first and foremost, Meek should be thrilled to be in the group. First and foremost. Now, what they did with their money, I don't really have much of an opinion on that because that's their money. I mean, people do what the fuck they want to do with their money.
Fuck that.
Could it?
They consider him a friend, right? They consider Robert Kraft.
You know, they had courtside seats with Robert Kraft the other night at the game. Like they hung out with the fool.
Why people feel like why is
because it's two things wrong with this. One is the obvious reason, and people disagree with this reason, is that it's just something very, very slavish about a black dude buying an old white billionaire Bentley. That's just number one. Number two, and the biggest part is Meek is catching heat because he pulled up to some kids in a Wraith, nice ass car, right? Told the kids, don't touch my car, like they was fucking fleas. They were selling water. It was like 20 kids. He gave them a $20 bill and said, y'all split this shit. So you go from giving some black kids who look up to you, who was all excited to see you, that you treated like fleas, you gave them $20, told them to split it, But you go 4 ways on a Bentley for an old white billionaire?
Yeah, okay, but there's some, yeah, but you're inherently assuming that he had more than $20 in cash on him.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. I'm not saying he did or didn't, but you're assuming that he had. So you think that?
What if he was in traffic?
What if you legit only had $20 in cash on him? Why?
I can play at least 17 songs to where he raps about having at least like 10 grand on him at all times. This is Meek Mill who cashing out stuff. Who buying bags and
just to be clear.
Just have 20.
So just to be clear,
just have $20 on, please.
I want to clarify something. Most millionaires don't even have cash on them.
A rapper?
So just to be clear, no, he peaked that. I think he absolutely had more cash on him. Just keep it in the bag. So is Jay-Z like whatever, a coon, a house, whatever you said earlier?
That's what Chris is saying.
It was Jay-Z.
No, he's saying Meek Mill. Are you putting that label on Jay-Z too?
Yeah, I think it's uncomfortable for him to buy an old white billionaire.
Yeah, but to them, he's not like some old white man. He's their friend. Like if you happen to be friends with some old white dude and you go buy him a nice sweater or something, that's not cooning. You just gave him a gift because you appreciate him as a friend, no?
Also, nice sweater.
Also,
yeah, I disagree with that whole sentiment anyway. But my whole point is number one, he helped the man get out of jail. He supported his cause. He put his name on the dotted line. Robert Kraft holds weight. All right. So when a dude like that advocates you to get out of jail, it means a lot. Number one. Number two, this is a Bentley. You got to think about it like this, right? If you make $40 million a year, 0.25% of that is $100 grand. 0.25% of that is $100 grand. That's equal to you making $250,000 and spending $600. See, people don't understand. These are rich people. So I know we look at it, the common man looks at it and says, "Oh, it's a Bentley." That shit is not a lot of money to them. Number one, but number two, that's his people's, they friends. So that shit rises above.
But you proving my point. If he's so rich and he's making all this money, why would you pull up to a group of black kids who need it and make them split $20 between like 20 black kids? That's no problem.
These are two, but they're two separate. We are talking about two separate things. We're talking about the fact that, you said that was slavish. That ain't got nothing to do with $20 for kids. So see, there's two different things here.
Well, that's why he's catching heat. But that's why he's catching
two different things here. But I haven't seen him catch heat for that.
And that still is slavish.
To me, most people understand that man helped them get out of jail. So bottom line is, if you help me get out, if you support me, I'm gonna support you. I don't care what color you are. If you contribute to my cause and you're gonna help me and mine, you help me get out of jail. I don't give a fuck if you white, black, green, rich, whatever. It's not even about money. It's about that man had your back. So I have no problem with that transaction. Now, all that other meat shit, 1,000%, whatever. I understand exactly why he got smoked for that shit. But the whole, Robert Kraft shit, man, that shit don't mean nothing. But it's the total picture.
That's the thing. It all adds up. You can't rap about helping the black kids out, helping the hood out, caring about the hood. You're doing this prison reform and stuff. You're talking all this mess. You're talking all this good talk. But when you pull up to a group of black kids, you literally give them a $20 bill and tell them to split it between like 20 kids, and you help buy Robert Kraft a Bentley, is just overall, it's a bad look. Maybe he has every right to, but it's a bad look.
Maybe, but I wouldn't cancel him for that. Because
I can't cancel him.
He does a lot of other good stuff in the streets. What he's doing for prison reform, state to state, helping a lot of people out, helping people get free. So, I think I always feel like you could compartmentalize. Two things could be true at the same time. That could have been a bad look. He played himself. It could have been a mistake. I don't mean it may not mean he's going to be that for the rest of his life.
And Chris, what we don't know, and what we don't know is what Robert Kraft has done or is about to do or is willing to do in the future for something like a gift. So sometimes when you show people a nice gesture, they return the favor by supporting your cause and a venture that you may have.
Absolutely, that's how it works.
So that's how it works, buddy.
Because now absolutely. Now when me says, hey, I'm doing this for charity, I'm doing it, who comes over? Robert Kraft. Oh,
I wasn't trying to cancel me.
My friends over.
I wasn't trying to cancel me, but we need to cancel that jean suit that nigga was wearing. Cancel that for sure. He walking around.
It's 90-degree weather.
Looking Lou Kevin Samuels, but we got a motherfucking podcast to get to. What's up, y'all? You got D? What's up, D? I ain't see D in the minute. Seems like I haven't seen you in a long time. D, how you
really?
Yeah, it seems like I seen you in a minute. D,
I feel the same for some reason.
D is my favorite, y'all. I'm just gonna tell y'all, I don't like other motherfuckers.
That,
you got Hollywood Vic, you got Eric, aka Chief No Good, you got myself, Chris G. We are the Arrogant Underdog podcast. What's going on? Hey, what you drinking on, man? Cheers. Look, we always are on the same page.
Keeping it easy. I'm keeping it easy. Just relax.
Hey, Vic said something funny. I don't know if you heard it earlier. This nigga asked me when I was taking. He said, "Man, when you taking shit, do your wave cap pop off?" This is why this shit is so funny.
What the hell? Where did that come from?
I don't know. It was random. When he said that shit, I thought about how myself I'd be looking. I was like, all the women, they probably be looking at me stupid as fuck sometimes. I'm just standing there butt ass naked in a wave cap.
What?
Look goofy. I know it's off subject, but it just made me look how goofy I probably be looking in my wave cap.
Yeah, but who's sitting around watching you butt ass naked with a wave cap on?
I'm just saying, you know, with women, you know what I'm saying?
One thing I know for a fact, Vic, I don't know about people's wave caps popping off, but everybody has a shit face.
What? That's not true.
Everybody has a shit face.
That's not true.
Some people like this.
Some people like this. Eric shits in front of mirrors.
No,
you just smile the whole time?
Right.
Women
don't have shit faces.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Y'all crazy, but we don't have shit faces. I'm stuck on Chris in this damn.
Ask a woman if she got a shit face, man. Y'all so goddamn.
No, we say everybody. We don't have shit faces. Where do y'all get this stuff from? And where did
it's you know what?
We got stuff to talk about.
I was just about to say the THC.
We got stuff
man. Yo, Eric, that shit had me weak. My bad.
No, we got stuff to talk about. But first, speaking of wave caps, I don't even know how to process a shit face. Because now I'm sitting here thinking, like, do y'all lean on your?
You know what it is? If we have shit, we don't know it because we ain't never really think about it.
But once you think about it,
you're going to be thinking about it from now on. We'll be taking selfies and shit, trying to figure it out.
No, I don't have a shit face. But anyway, speaking of Chris and his damn wave cap, you know, we all know that it's acceptable for men to walk around with wave caps, but Monique caught a lot of flack. She caught a ton of flack for saying that women shouldn't walk around with bonnets and pajamas, and slippers, and for some reason everybody zoomed in on the bonnets. How y'all feel about women walking around with bonnets on their head?
Take that shit off.
It's the female do-rag, man. I mean, if you really think about it, you know, I don't know.
She was basically saying, like, you know, for women, like, we got to walk around and show that we have pride in ourselves. And one of the ways that you can show that you have pride in yourself is by not wearing a bonnet on your head.
I agree.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel something. Yeah, but she's in the airport. So what does? Why do I care if somebody has? Why would I care if you have pride in me while I'm walking through the airport? Like, I'm trying to understand the correlation. What's the big difference?
Because she's talking about in public in general.
Yeah, probably. There we go.
In general. I think she's talking more about for the culture in general. How, girl, you making all of us look bad. I think that's what she's talking about. She's not talking about in a one-on-one. She's saying in general, you giving the whole culture a L by doing that. And that's why so many people got mad at her, in my opinion.
When I listened to her, it felt a little fugazi to me, because I'm thinking, how do I...
Fugazi.
Why I gotta represent all women? But if you see something negative with men, they don't represent all men. Like, we spend all our time.
That's not true.
trying to defend why one person don't represent everybody else. Why I gotta represent all women? Like I don't feel like some people walking around
back in the day, OGs can give advice. OGs can give advice to the culture, to the community, and not really catch backlash. And in these times, you can't say shit. What she was doing was she was giving her version of advice. She thought that was good advice to give, which I agree with. It does seem kind of lazy, and it's not just a one-way street. I've had the president of my Eagles fan club. He told me, like, Chris, you should stop wearing your do-rag outside. Like, that shit is meant for indoors. It's just either I'm gonna take the advice or not. And clearly, I don't take the advice because I wear my shit outdoors. But I mean, it's a two-way street. It's just OGs giving advice, and ladies.
So, Vic and Eric,
she was giving game.
Wait, but Vic and Eric, y'all feel like Chris make y'all look bad because he wear his do-rag out?
No, not the do-rag, but I will say
What's the difference?
It's been 6:30 p.m. Okay, at Outback Steakhouse, and I've seen a woman with pajamas and a bonnet on her head, and I'm like, well, damn, did you wash your ass today? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the first thing that comes to my mind. Like, damn, here's a person that's interacting with everybody in public today, and they haven't performed. They appear to have not performed any self-care for today, and they're here interacting with everybody else. Probably.
But you didn't answer the question. How come Chris wearing his do-rag doesn't make
not a do-rag? Not a do-rag. Not a do-rag.
What's the difference?
Well, I wouldn't say the do-rag is the exact same for the woman, because a man will get up, take a bath, do all of these things, and then
you're assuming that if a woman puts on a bonnet, she didn't take a bath.
That's my assumption.
That's a funny ass correlation, but that's
but why would you assume just because she got a bonnet?
I didn't say that.
Because you look like you just because pajamas. I said that.
Can I jump in for my brother
with the pajamas. With the pajamas is what I'm saying.
Wash your ass and wear pajamas.
It looks like you just rolled out of bed.
Just because it looks like it doesn't mean you didn't wash your ass. And that's what I'm trying to say.
But perception is reality.
We can only go off of what
people don't know. People don't know you. You walking around here.
Exactly.
When people see PJs, what do they
assume the worst? If you don't know somebody,
it's called stereotyping. Well, no. Let's be clear.
If somebody walks past you and they smell like shit, do you assume that they shit?
Well, because I can smell the shit. That's
exactly. So if you show up looking like you straight out of the bed,
I don't assume. I wouldn't assume that they wash their ass. I assume that they're wearing pajamas. That's a very big difference. That's a very because you have on pajamas don't mean you didn't wash your ass and brush your teeth.
Here's who she was
they gonna kill you under there.
Here's who she was talking to. First of all, I don't think it's so much the bonnet in it of itself, because I've seen plenty women with bonnets and they look good, they look fine. I wouldn't think nothing of it. It's not what you do, it's how you do. But now there's those women, and then there's the women that have a bonnet, look like they in their teeth, shit all sloppy, like all jacked up. You know, so that's what she's talking about. Rolling out of your crib, looking disheveled, a bonnet, a fucking bullshit t-shirt you slept in, the PJs, and being out in public in certain areas. That shit, to me, I agree with that.
Here's the thing.
I would never let my lady walk out the crib.
Dion knows exactly who we're talking about. Don't play. You know who we talking about. We talking about them broads. We know
she got her devil's advocate bonnet on.
Unless somebody,
you know which ones we talking about.
No.
You know which ones we talking about.
No, fuck y'all, because I'm gonna tell you why. You can see somebody with regular clothes on who look dirty. They look dirty and they look like they didn't wash their ass. And I can see somebody with a bonnet and pajama bottoms and a t-shirt and they look clean. So I don't.
Mo didn't say that was Eric. That was Eric shit. Mo didn't say that. Mo was just saying, she was just saying have some pride in yourself. And what that means to me, take that extra 20 minutes, go do something with yourself and just,
but that's exactly my point to presentable. You. But if there are people who will get up in the morning, throw on some dirty ass jeans, a dirty ass shirt, and they look dirty versus somebody who took a shower and just threw the pajamas on to run to the store, or they're getting on the airplane. Like, I don't think that just because you got on a bonnet and pajamas, you're dirty. Because I see plenty of dirty ass people with regular clothes.
I don't believe that either. I just think it's lazy. Yeah, I don't think you're dirty.
I don't believe that either, Dion. We just feel it's incredibly lazy.
Oh no, Eric believes
lazy.
Eric does. Yeah, Eric does.
Go out of your crib and
somebody.
Listen. I don't care if you're white, Puerto Rican, black. If I see you outside in your motherfucking PJs and it's 5, 6 p.m., like the fuck are you doing?
Yes.
It's just what
if they work
a
at 8 o'clock at night and going to the store?
It.
That's what I'm saying. I guess I just don't pay attention to people as much like that. Like, I don't start assuming that they just being lazy. Like, I don't know. I think of shit like if somebody in the store with pajama pants on, maybe they just got up because they work overnight. Like, that's the kind of thing I think. I don't just assume that they're
supposed to be out in your fucking PJs though.
It's not something that I do. It's not something that I do.
If it makes you feel any better, I don't know if I told you this. I was just randomly walking down, not randomly, but I'll be walking down the street and somebody yelled out their car. They were just like, "Hey, do-rag." Swear to God. For no reason. I don't know these people. I was walking down the street, somebody yelled out their car, "Hey, do-rag." Like, and people notice it. I don't know. They was just making fun of my wave cap, but people notice that shit.
Yeah, they making fun of your wave cap because that's just like a bonnet, my guy.
Here's what's funny.
Walking around with a bonnet.
They don't be having a tail out.
With the cape out. But you know what's funny? I feel uncomfortable walking out with pajamas on, like no bra. Like, that's just not something that I do because I just don't feel comfortable.
Why, Dion? Why?
Because that's just, I'm
because you have pride in yourself.
And stuff like that.
You have pride in yourself.
No. Tell us why, Dion.
I honestly don't know why. It just feels uncomfortable.
You know why?
No, I don't. I don't know. Well, tell me why.
Okay.
No, I'm being 100 with you. It just doesn't feel good to me.
Cap.
No, I'm
why
serious.
Doesn't it feel good? Why doesn't it feel good?
I just assume just because that's how I was raised. I really don't. I don't know. But now y'all all
so
saying
they
I'm lying,
told you
so
that ain't cool. So your mama told you that shit ain't cool, right?
I don't know. It just doesn't feel good to me. Yeah. I didn't see my mother do it, and I didn't see my grandmother do it. So I just don't.
That's why it's such a topic, because.
But I don't feel uncomfortable about other
certain. You leave in the crib, and again, I know it's, first of all, Monique is she 50-50 anyway. She's said a lot of things lately. You know what I'm saying? She's polarizing in the community, right? So whenever she speaks, it's gonna be feelings anyway.
But now I want y'all to tell me why, because y'all always like cap. I mean, I'm trying to understand.
I was just saying because of the pride thing.
I'm legit curious.
Yeah.
What'd you say?
I was saying because of the pride thing. I just say it. Shit, it's you have pride about yourself. Some females don't. That's the difference, in my opinion.
I never thought about it like that.
I think we're
it's just lazy. I wouldn't let my lady do it. I
think she was also bringing awareness to the fact that black women are already looked down upon in society, right? So now you're outside looking like last night and shit. So
last night.
That's not a good look, sister. Clean that shit up.
Yo, we used to do this thing where whenever one of the homies, whoever it was, came around and they was wearing the same shit, my boy would be like, "Hey, yo, Vic," I'd be like, "What's good?" He'd be like, "It smell like yesterday in this bitch, don't it?"
Well, ladies, don't be hating on my wave cap, because I wear a wave cap. They gonna be calling me a hypocrite.
I just happen to feel like if you
bonnet on bonnet crime,
you can wear what the hell you want whenever you wear it. That's just kind of how.
Facts. At the end of the day, yeah. At the end of the day.
Hashtag Bonnetgate. Make sure y'all leave that on the Arrogant Underdogs Facebook page. Hashtag Bonnetgate.
I got one more thing.
Let us know what you think.
Else I want y'all to talk about before we run out of time. I really, really want to know what y'all think about this. So Jess Hilarious was on $1 Million Worth of Game, and she told a story about how I guess she called a gay dude the F word. It rhymes with maggot, right? So we all know what the word is.
Thanks for the clarity. Appreciate it.
But it was in response to him calling her a tranny. So I guess he called her a tranny. She responded with that, and so basically, her response was that he called her a homophobic slur, so she responded with one. So at what point do we have to pull back? Should she have responded? Should she have just let it go? Was it okay? Is it fair game? What do y'all think about it?
I think it happened like a year or two ago, so it wasn't like super recent, but they tried to counter her for that. But that shit sounded like she was keeping the same energy, that she was matching energy. Call me an apple, I'm gonna call you an orange. It is what it is. You directed a certain type of slur at me, I have every right to say it back.
So you think people were being too sensitive?
Hell yeah. The fuck?
Absolutely.
But
I also feel like because that was a year ago, using that word now with all that's happened in the last, I would say in the last 12 to 24 months with this, gender neutral movement, it would be way more inflammatory today if he said that. But I personally feel is that once you're gonna throw mud, you got to be able to take it back. You can't call that woman that and then not expect her. So she gave, Chris said it. She gave him energy right back. She was well within her right. You know what I'm saying?
You're on mute, D.
my bad. But tranny is also a derogatory term, so it's not like
absolutely.
Yeah, that's considered derogatory.
Yeah, he talks slick.
Transgender. Yeah. So if he's dishing it out, then you got to be prepared for what's gonna come back. I think
I've seen dudes get punched in the face.
I mean, if you like that was a fucking a verbal jab, and she verbal jabbed your ass back. It's like
he was incredibly disrespectful, so she gave it to him right back. And,
did she say how did she do anything? Like, did she apologize, or did she just sort of let it go? Did she say?
No, she didn't apologize. She stood her ground. She said, "Shit, I was defending myself," and he brought it to that arena, so we kept it in that arena, basically.
Yeah, listen.
Hey, look,
there's a reaction. That's how.
Hey, look, like I say, look, gay people, you're human too. So I'm gonna crack jokes on you. You crack them.
I do find
everybody doing it.
I think I'm pretty liberal on with my views on like gay topics and stuff like that. But I think that sometimes gay people get way too sensitive, and sometimes you don't have a right to just call me whatever and think that I'm not gonna hit you back. It just don't work like that. Like that.
Yeah. I agree. I agree. You can't go at people and not expect fire back.
Right.
The thing is this: if true equality, if you really want equality, then you got to be treated like anybody else who would have said that shit. That's equality. So we're gonna treat you as equally as I would that anybody else that would call me some shit. And that's
all right. So that's a perfect segue. So do you think that it's fair game for people like Hunter Biden to be using the term nigga? Like if he's just out there, we'll see. So here's the thing: if he's just out there using, because so long story short, some of his emails and text messages and stuff like that have been released, and there's one where he's communicating with someone, and he is referring to
his white attorney, to be exact.
His attorney, right? He's communicating.
Yeah. Let's dress it up. So people know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So he's using the term nigga in the conversation, and it's just like normal. One, a lot of people think that if it had been Trump's son, this would be a really, really big deal. I happen to think it's a bigger deal that there's just two white men that feel very comfortable using the word. What do y'all think?
I think that us in America have to stop, and especially us black people, Biden is not a black last name. Stop thinking the Bidens are black, because y'all be letting Bidens get away with shit.
Who thinks the Bidens are black?
A lot of people, they act like it. They never came out and said. A few people had said that Biden's. I think Al Sharpton said that Biden. Somebody said that Biden was a nigga or something like that. But anyway, a lot of people treat the Bidens like they black. So a lot of black people treat the Bidens like they black. They let shit get away with it. You know, I have a hard time understanding why nobody's saying shit about this. If the last name was Trump, it would be riots. It'd be protests. I mean, come on now. We all know the truth. People would be calling out working shit. Come on, man. Why are we letting Biden get away with this? Why? And
I have a theory.
Go ahead, Vic. Let me know, Vic.
I have a theory. So here's, and you may stick with me on this one. So growing up in your neighborhood, right? there's people that say things and do things, and certain people hold weight when they talk and they telling the story, right? But there was always this line is that when once you know that someone's a crackhead, right? They kind of lose a lot of authority. It's just a stigma that when you're a crackhead, it's almost like, but he a crackhead. So it's almost like, and I'm not saying that excuses him from using the N-word, not at all. He should never use it. But when you're asking why is it not a hotter subject, and the reason why is because one whole half, which would be the Democrats and the liberals, they don't want to talk about that shit because it's a huge L. The other half don't really care about him using the N-word. They care that he's a president's son who's a crackhead. So
well, look,
there's only one segment of the population that's going to give a shit about that, and that's people of color. And that's why it hasn't been made a bigger deal. Because I didn't even know that shit till the other day. Like, I didn't know.
But look, Vic, real people that's not really into politics like that don't know that Hunter Biden was a crackhead. See, Hunter Biden is not just your typical crackhead. He's your elite crackhead. So he's not just like the crackhead son that just lives in the basement, that's just doing crack and daddy providing for. He's in the public view. He's in political conversation. He stands at podium. He gives speeches. His dad refers to him as the smartest person in the world. Like, he's involved in shit. So he's not just the typical crackhead in the alley. So this is why this would be a bigger deal than it is.
It's a handle thing.
They put him on waivers like a year and a half ago, bro.
So let me
They've been hiding him.
He asked his attorney, he said, how much do I owe you? Because, nigga, you better not be charging me Hennessy rates. And then he goes on to say, I only love you because you're black.
And he was talking to a white man. Just let y'all know.
Now, are we? It's official. That was a white, because I thought it was a black guy.
Well, here's the thing.
No, it was a white guy.
Here's the thing. He looks white, but is it possible that he's black?
No, that's not. No,
I can't find it. I've tried to find it, and I honestly can't find his race.
Have you seen pictures of his attorney, Chris?
Yes.
Yeah, he looks white. He looks white. He does look white.
If he looks white, he's fucking white. What you say? So he looks white, but he's black, dude?
No, because there's plenty of mixed people. Mariah Carey has a black father, and she looks white. I mean, we could go on and on. There are some mixed people who look white. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're not.
I see what you're saying.
But the way that even the dude was responding to him was kind of awkward, because he was saying that like, "True that, nigga," and he was like, "May God bless your holy soul." Like, he was responding with strict.
He was responding like he knew this shit may be exposed one day. That's how he was responding. He was like, I don't know this man.
I don't know about the rest of the world, but out here in Cali and LA, where I'm at, when white people, I seen white crackheads before, they don't hit crack and just turn black. That motherfucker turned into a rapper real quick. True that, nigga, Hennessy. What the fuck are you talking about? Do he talk to his daddy like this? Do his daddy talk like this? Do they talk like that to each other? I got a lot of questions.
Or Chris, he was high out his fucking mind, texting on. So that's what it sounds to me like. That motherfucker was in space.
So that's what I was gonna say. It sounds like a relapse to me.
Well, I think the emails were from 2018, so it's possible.
I don't think it was a relapse, because you got to stop to relapse.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's he's an elite. He's an elite crackhead. He's not a regular crackhead. This is daily for him. This is funded crackism. He gets like government crack. Like, this shit is, nigga, this daddy the plug. But I want y'all to think, when y'all read them texts, you cannot tell me you couldn't picture Biden talking just like this. We know how Biden gives speeches. We know how he talk like a grown baby. You can't tell me you can't imagine that Biden can say these exact words. I don't know, man.
Listen, I've said this.
Wait, it was his son, not his dad. What are we talking about here?
I've said this on this podcast many times before. I say it again tonight. I don't believe that there are any, well, I won't say any, but there are not many white men over the age of 75 in the United States who are not racist. I don't believe that. So Joe Biden falls into that group. I absolutely believe he's a racist.
Like father, like son. That's all I'm saying. It might be the case. It might be the case like father, like son. That's all I'm saying.
This has nothing to do with the emails or text messages that just came out with his son. This is just my view on the sitting president, just like the last president was racist, and the 3 or 4 white guys before them more than likely were racist too. But I just think that's part of the way it is. And
his son is
Hunter
not
Biden, you got caught, buddy.
His son is not over 75. So you're saying you think he's racist from his father, or you think
absolutely
high using
no, absolutely. His father taught him how to behave and operate in society. I mean, you learn those things at home. You don't just today I'm racist. No, your dad is racist. He teaches you how to be an effective racist. You know how not to say shit in public. He done fucked around and got caught on a text message though. You know what I'm saying? But you never heard Hunter Biden saying this shit on TV.
Well, what if he thinks it's cool to say that? Like he's not trying to be racist, but everybody else uses it. Why?
He was using it. Let's be clear. He was using it as if it was cool to say it. He wasn't using it saying you effing N-word. He was using it in a way where as if he was talking to his homie.
Yeah,
which is crazy because he was talking to an attorney who was a Caucasian and he's a Caucasian. So in and of itself, it looks crazy.
And listen,
just for context.
The attorney
that government crack. I'm telling you, that shit's strong, man.
The attorney probably talks like that with him in person all the time.
I don't think so, bro.
But look, Vic was right.
I'm not gonna go there.
Look, the attorney probably was like, "Fuck you, texting me this shit for somebody to get hold of this. This is some shit we say to each other in person."
The way he was responding as he knew if he was
high. I know a lot of Caucasian attorneys that don't talk like that.
He either knew he was high.
He knew he was high as fuck when he was texting.
Or either he knew that this shit was going to one day wind up being leaked.
So you think
the way he was texting him like this shit happens every night.
He's smart. He's not going to do
that. Shit happens often. That shit look like their nightly conversation. Like, oh, he high.
I'm none of that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to you know what I mean?
Can we point out the fact that even white people acknowledge that Hennessy is overpriced? Can we point that out? Hennessy is overpriced and is overrated. I just want to throw that out there.
Stop drinking that shit anyway.
Definitely overrated. But so you guys think that it's more likely that he was high than him being racist?
Yeah, probably so.
So does he get a pass for that?
Hell no, because he racist and he was just a racist that was high.
Yeah, he's just a
racist that was high. No, I don't get a pass for that.
I definitely think he was out of his mind.
That's it.
Why do you think the media is not jumping on it?
Because the president's son.
Because Biden and the Democrats work exactly social media.
If Trump's son said, if any of his kids, not just his son, but if any of his kids said something like this, it would have been all over the media.
Even without him being in the presidential seat, even if Donald Trump Jr. today said that shit, they were fucking. That shit will take over the TV.
I agree.
There's a program out there. There's a plan. There's a plot to no matter what to do not let Biden or his family look racist. No matter what, just no matter what he says, no matter what he does, just keep giving him a pass, and he keeps getting this pass, and it's a paid pass. You know, Biden. Them motherfuckers is the new Clintons.
Biden is the do-rag, Trump is the bonnet.
Facts. Bonnet on
That's my takeaway from the show.
Facts.
I think they do all presidents like that. I think Trump was the anomaly, and I think Biden is getting the same treatment all the previous.
When Bill Clinton, they were after him. In his day, he was all in the news.
And this is the first time I've seen a president go this long without talking to people. He may talk. It looked like he talked in public every other damn week. If that was Obama, that motherfucker had to talk every day to keep motherfuckers at bay. You know what I'm saying?
That's because his battery got to
Yeah,
recharge.
but it's safe to
Trump had
say,
to talk every
it's safe
day.
to say Biden is not.
His-
I don't think
his-
presidents talk every day, like in the media.
Well, I'm just saying, I'm used to the last 3 motherfuckers we had
Well,
talking
they were
every
always
day
out
almost.
there. Yeah, they maybe
I
not
don't
every
think
day,
they
but
talk
they were
every
out there
day.
pretty
There's
often.
just footage.
No, their whole press conferences at
He
least
is
every other
busy,
day.
Eric. He's busy building a wall.
That
Let
motherfucker
him
ain't
work.
busy. They just don't want to put that motherfucker on TV because we're going to see him up there be like, yeah.
Biden is busy keeping the immigrants out,
buffering.
building a wall.
Offering and shit.
Buffering.
Yeah.
You guys
That's
are
what he's
straight
doing.
up assholes. All right,
I'm going to help
I
that
have
one.
one more question, which is a little unrelated, but I really want to ask you guys this. Listen. It's the way you guys stop. Like, what the fuck is she about to say?
Yeah.
I'll be
I
scared when you pause
This
so
is important.
long.
I know. This is important because we have 2 married men on, and Chris is young. He'll get married one day. So listen, if your spouse cheated on you before you got married, but you found out after you got married, is it fair or foul?
Wait, let me see.
Repeat the
You have to
question.
think about.
Yeah.
What do you have to think about? If your wife, Mrs. Medina, cheated on you before you got married and you didn't know about it, but then after you got married, you found out, is it fair or foul?
Is it more of
always
it's forgivable? Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
now, is it okay for you to get back at her?
Ah, that's where that's where it gets tricky because it's not.
Right. I knew it. I did exactly. I do because you're
ladies
gonna
and
say
gents.
it's foul, but everybody wants some get back.
Yeah. See, once you completed the question, you can't get no get back, ladies and gents. If secrets come out that I was getting jiggy with it before we got married, and it come out after. By law and by spiritual law of God, you cannot cross that. You cannot get your revenge. You have to forgive me. You have to live and let go.
Legally, you gotta let it slide.
Yeah, contract-wise, we had no attachment before. Contract-wise, now we didn't sign a contract.
You just gotta you gotta suck that up, Chris.
Let me tell you this.
Yeah, you gotta let it go. You can't get no get back. You gotta let it go.
In my opinion, ain't nobody lets cheating cheat. You ain't fuck. If we were together, we lived together. The only difference between now and then is that piece of paper and and about a good 7-8 paychecks on jewelry.
Nah, that's a difference. Isn't that a difference between cheating and adult?
Hey, look.
No, hold on.
What is not?
We need context, right? So we were together, but was it the first year? If it was in the first 6 months, the first
you don't need
year,
context. The
maybe
point is now you're married. What were you gonna say, Eric? The point is now you're married.
What I was gonna say to the group is this. In context.
Yeah, we can flag again.
Heck yeah.
Fuck it, get us flagged. Fuck it, Eric. Oh.
It's a love TKO, baby. You understand? What's done is done. You understand? And
I know y'all don't like it.
If there's get back to be done, then
there's always gonna be get back.
That's just what it is. Revenge is real.
Take that.
Revenge is real.
Nah, that's a difference.
Revenge
It's a difference.
real.
What's the difference?
I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I'm just telling you what most likely the case will be. If that happens, another person find out, they're probably gonna want to get some get back.
Nah. If you a couple, it's different between being a couple and being married. If I did some dirt when we a couple, before we was Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah, that sounds good, bro. That sounds good.
Yeah, but
now
we can
discuss.
Watch this. Watch this. But watch this though. So y'all been together for 6 years, and then y'all decided to get married. So you think she's just gonna forget about the 6 years?
I mean, hey, it's part of the duty.
That ain't the way it works.
It's either forgiveness or move on.
That ain't the way it works.
Let me ask this. Hold on. Let me ask this, Chris. You with your lady 4 years, right? And you got married a year ago. So 3 years of your relationship, y'all living together. you weren't married. The last year you're married, you found out she cheated within year 2. You straight? You letting that walk?
I never said it can be straight. Of course, you're gonna be mad, but
Well,
what I'm saying is, as the husband, because you're married now, you got 2 options. You either gonna forgive because that's part of your job, or you're gonna leave. You have 2 options. Now, maybe
you have a third option. You can
we can
forgive
negotiate
and get some get back.
punishment. Maybe we can negotiate punishment, because what you're doing is, when you cheated on me,
This
when we were a
motherfucker
couple,
said
you just
negotiate
cheated.
punishment.
Yeah, because you just cheated. You just
Time
cheated when we
out.
were a couple.
Time out,
When we were
Chris.
married,
Chris. Time out, Chris. You're missing a very important part. You said negotiate the punishment.
We can negotiate the punishment.
That does not seem like pain to me. Understand, when people pay you back, they want equal pain, not equal opportunity, motherfucker. They want you to hurt like they hurt. It ain't no negotiation. Motherfucker, they gonna get.
No, we gonna negotiate, because the rules have changed now.
How did the rules change? The rules
because now we're missing. Look, there's 2 laws being broken. There's a difference between cheating and there's a difference between adultery. When you're a couple, you're just cheating. When you're married, it's adultery. So it's 2 different things. So we're gonna negotiate. Now, what I will do is maybe we can bring it to the table. Maybe you can get a stripper or something. Maybe, you know what I'm saying, and let you have your fun for 15, with no sex involved, for 15 minutes, and that's cool. But
that's a fantasy world, bro.
No sex.
You know, hey, that's how I'm just saying.
That's a fantasy
my
world.
My rules. My world,
you
my rules.
do that shit on your own.
You do. Hey, look, you go to your motherfucking bachelor party and get some motherfucking ass or something. Your motherfucking wife find out the next day, nigga. Watch what happens.
What you do is, okay, we married and you cheated. All right, cool. I want another bachelor party, and I'm gonna throw that shit in Vegas with my homies. We're gonna have a 3-day weekend. I'll see you when I get back.
It's all a vicious cycle, Dion.
Right. I don't want to hear nothing. When I come back, there's no questions.
And guess what?
Call me.
And guess what's happening while you're at your bachelor party?
I'm gonna be at your house.
The same way you didn't tell me about what you was doing. You was doing what you was doing. We're gonna let them same rules fly.
See, that's how Will and Jada got started. See, you know it's actually gonna come to the round table.
I'm just telling you from the wealth of experience I've gained from living, brother. Just don't work that way.
What I'm gonna tell you is this: an entanglement is cheaper than a divorce.
What you say, Vic? What you say? An entanglement.
Hey, Vic with the quote of the day.
An entanglement is cheaper than a divorce.
That's fact.
It's easy on the taxes, baby.
Put some spec on that message, people.
You have it.
Put some
You
spec
can
on that
write off an entanglement. You ain't writing off a divorce.
Hey, before we get the fuck out of here, y'all, I had a birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday.
I thank you, appreciate it. I had to call my brother and ask him how old he was to find out my age. That's how you know you get old, because we're a year apart. I'm like, damn, I didn't even know how old I was. But
how old are you, Chris?
I am 36 now.
God, congratulations, brother.
Crazy.
Happy birthday.
Man, I appreciate y'all. Yeah. Thank you.
Maybe you stop making fun of us older people.
Right, because
in 4 years.
In 4 years. Creeping on in
4 years. Oh, and everybody, just for the record, that toy in Eric's background, that's just a prop. It's just a prop.
No, I think that's real. No,
that is a legally registered rifle.
YouTube be lying.
It belongs to me. You can run my name. I'm as clean as a motherfucking clean as a goddamn well mop.
Okay. And when you run that name, make sure you type in clearly Reverend No Good.
There you go. Hey, like we said earlier, make sure to leave a message on our page. #BonnetGate. We'll be looking for you to interact with us. Let us know how you feel about that bonnet.
Definitely leave some feedback about the podcast.
Maybe we should hashtag too.
Do-rags
versus bonnets. Because I know women did A lot of women did bring that up about my do-rag. So
Which one more
I
ghetto and
feel the same. I agree with that. I agree.
One is
I
more
agree.
ghetto
You
and
go into personal settings, you shouldn't have a freaking do-rag on in certain. Like, yeah, I agree. That's fact. I agree.
You sure with a do-rag to your top interview, I'm a fucking fire you before I hire you.
That's racist as fuck.
Listen, keep.
Here we go with the do-rag slander.
Right. They go.
Yeah, can we just end the show? Can we just end the show?
We're talking about going to the grocery store, the airport.
Hey.
Nobody's showing up to an interview with a do-rag.
Y'all make sure you motherfuckers use Lyft, Uber, call a taxi. Don't drink and drive this weekend, please. I know it's the summertime. You know, one of my homeboys had an accident the other day. Somebody drunk hit him. So please do not drink and drive. Take your shots at home. Get fucked up at home. And if you can't, call a Uber. Just trying to be a little responsible.
For sure.
I'm getting drunk at home.
And make sure y'all hit the like button, subscribe, share, comment. We love to comment back. Till next week, we'll see y'all. Arrogant Underdogs.
See y'all later.
Peace.
It looks like I'm throwing